Right, now we start work on the receiver board. So what I've just done now, I've just disconnected these cables here. So your antenna, AM antenna and FM antenna. Disconnected these two, and we can just remove the screws around the outsides and pull the board out, and then we can start work on changing all the capacitors in there. And under this can there's some very thick chunky cans with literally one capacitor in each can, so it's a lot of work just to change one capacitor, but it has to be done, so we'll continue. Right, I've changed some of the capacitors on this board, but this is the you've got to desolder all of these thick cans. But just to show you what is involved, you've got to get under these little cans here and rework all the connections, take all the solder off and then resolder it, and that's going to go back on there, and you basically have to do that for the whole board. So these capacitors have been changed now, these big ones. And whoever worked on this before didn't do a very good job, because they lifted a lot of the tracks up, which I've had to repair. So all in there has been done. So you have to remove this shield out the way and redo them. All the capacitors in there have been changed as well. So these are the other sides of the cans. In these cans you've probably got one capacitor, so the amount of work to take that off just to change one capacitor, it's quite time consuming, but it's worth it in the end, because you get it all done properly. Right then, I've changed all the capacitors on the top here. You see quite a few here and one under here. So now I've got to tackle the under these cans. There's a capacitor each under there. I've got to change these ones, so I'll have to take this frame off to get to them. I've got to rework that IC and get this all this glue off, which is, you can actually see the joints under there. Some of the pins are actually moving, so that needs to be done. But yeah, it's getting there. And this is what I've got to do. I've got to take these cans off. So you'll need a good iron with a lot of heat. And I've got these Weller iron with the good sorted tips that are really good. So we'll have to take these cans off and do the capacitors under there, and then rework most of these components, mostly the coils and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a good job these filters are okay, because they're quite expensive, they are. And once this board's done, we can pop it in the radio and just check all the bands and make sure all the frequencies are good and sensitivity is good, and go from there. Right, then what I'm going to do is video taking the shield off, which we're going to do. I can find my soldering braid, there we go. Tip I'm using on this one is the 0.2 millimeters. I've got a couple of them as 0.2, which is what I like to use for this this SMD work. And if I need to get some heat, like on these cans here, I'll be using the 0.8 millimeter one. So that'll definitely get that off. And this desoldering braid is not cheap either. It's quite expensive for a roll. It's like about 30-40 pounds. Try to use one with very low flux content in it. It's not good to keep breathing in these fumes. As you can see, there quite a lot of fumes coming off of this. Another thing I've learned over the years is try not to burn the wires. Whoever worked on this before, they did manage to do that. They burnt quite a few wires. Right, we're almost there. You can see, as you see, tracks are being lifted up there. We're going to have a centre section in here as well. Okay, I think we're good. Should be able to get that out now. There you go. So now that's off. Put that to one side. And now we can get to these capacitors and rework these ICs quite easily now. And so far there's a nice little collection of capacitors in there. So I think this iron should get enough heat in here to take this off. So we'll give that a go. These are all the same, so it doesn't really matter if you mix them up. This is with a 0.2mm tip. Let's get some heat in that. Okay, what I think I'll do, I'll take off the ends here, so you can get them free. This is the can coming from the other side. As I say, it's a lot of work just to get this can apart, just to get one capacitor out. As you'll see, and once I get it off, right, now that's free. Should be able to apply a lot of heat to it now and take it off. Yep, that's come up. There we go, that's off there. So now we just need to get the solder off of this, and this should come up. That's it. And hopefully we should see our capacitor underneath here. There you go. So there's the capacitor there, just the one. As you can see here, it's got the one capacitor, and there's probably one under each of here, so you've got to remove that can. And what I'll do is I'll just rework all these components under here as well. We'll remove one of these capacitors just now. We'll be removing this one here. What we do is just clean the solder off of these components. Look at the clean. Just rework them. Right then, just see what capacitor we need. It's a 22 microfarads, 6.3 volts, which I'm actually running low on, so I'll have to order those. And we'll just put the cap back in there. This is a replacement one. I like to use Panasonic caps. If I can't get the Panasonic ones in the value I want, I go for the Nichicon, which are very good. Bit difficult doing this behind the camera and a big magnifying glass, but I'll show what it looks like in a minute. Just give that a bit of a clean. And there we go. See, it's all been reworked now. Just on this section here. So now once that can goes back over there, that's all nice and clean under there.